question. The Leafs just scored 7 goals on Minnesota. Why don't you look that happy? Because I drafted Philip Gustafson in my fantasy pool. Yeah, hey, I have a question. How come you still have a hat? Wait, want to see me without a hat on? After back-to-back hat tricks? Yeah, I kind of do. No, you want photos of that? You gotta pay for it, Steven. Let's go! Good. We all feel good. Stop! Never gets rusty!
What am I doing?
Into my kitchen! Producer Drew, can you fix all this? And when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs, you can crumple, yeet! Saw that going differently.
With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR.
Victory, puppies! He got another hat trick, so you get 3. All right? This is big. If you get all 3, then you're gonna get a bonus one, so we can make up for the last time. And you're drooling all over the place. Here's 1. Ooh, we got 1. Here's 2. He got 2. If we get 3, that's a hat trick. And he got it. Okay, stay. We need to win a cup. If he gets this, they're winning the cup. Because this makes up for the last one. We gotta find a good one. This is a good one. This is the liver treat that is gonna win the Leafs the Stanley Cup. Iggy, I love you no matter what. All right? I love you no matter what, but it would Oh, let's go! Let's go! They're gonna win it now! That's how it works! Yeah! They're gonna win like this forever! Leafs win! 7-4! Over the Minnesota Wild. Absolutely slapped. Absolutely dominated. And speaking of dominated, you helped ODR Hockey Heroes dominate their Kickstarter. They passed 100%. If you know, you know, but if you don't know about ODR Hockey Heroes, it's an arcade-style hockey game being made by a listener of the Steve Dangle podcast. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot like the arcade hockey games you used to play back in the day before it got all complicated. Fun, ridiculous gameplay. You can turn people into a pigeon, and there's also a story mode. They're already up over 100%, but if you want to get them even higher than that, then the link is down below in the description, odrhockeyheroes.com. So, let's talk about this game. There were a lot of goals, just like the last game, except this game was a little less complicated than the first. The first game against the Montreal Canadiens was like 5 games in 1. This one was like 1 game in 1. Yes, the Leafs did get scored on first, but after that, they smoked Minnesota, almost blew it, and then continued to smoke them. And like, it's almost blowing it if you're up 4-1 and then you hang on to win it 4-3. It's not almost blowing it when you end up by winning by 3 goals anyway, and none of them were empty netters. Weird game for Minnesota, rough game for Minnesota, and not just on the scoreboard. Ryan Reeves, he's on a battering ram of a shift, runs over Freddie Gaudreau, my goodness. You know what's funny? Before the game, people were asking Ryan Reeves about this because he played on the Minnesota Wild just last year. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said, well, yeah, those guys are my friends, and because of that, I'm going to play them even harder. I feel like in hockey, you hear that sort of thing all the time, but then you watch, and they don't really mean it. Oh, he meant it! Blows up Gaudreau. Marcus Foligno has something to say about it, and yeah, fair enough. They've fought a bunch of times before, even though they're friends. Sometimes friends fight. And it was a good fight, a decent fight, and Ryan Reeves, I think, likes the limelight. It's not just that he likes fighting or that he's not afraid of fighting, he likes fighting in Scotiabank Arena. Now, while that hit would have after effects in the rest of the game, it unfortunately didn't get the Leafs on the board first. I was gonna talk about how Kirill Kaprizov had like a really quiet game, only to discover that he actually had an assist on the first goal. I've been talking about how the Leafs are soft in front of their own net, and I think that was still a problem in this game. But another thing that's happened a few times over the first 2 games, there's someone in front of the net and the only guy there is a forward. It's Austin Matthews with Ryan Hartman, and Ryan Hartman like really underratedly does this in front of the net. Tips the shot in perfectly. Minnesota's on the board first 1-0. And Matthews said, hey, that was my guy. I didn't like that he scored, and I liked even less that he was my guy. So you know what he did? Here, come here. This is wild. He scored! It all starts with a face-off just outside of Minnesota's zone. It's actually a scrambled face-off that Bertuzzi kicks back to the defense. It was actually kind of nice. Ran out of breath there. It's early in the season. Didn't want that to go unnoticed because the pass from Mitch Marner once the Leafs get into the zone is nice. And the shot from Matthews. Oh, I'm sorry. Screw the hat trick that he scored in the first game. Like, it was cool, really cool, appreciated that he did it. It's early in the season, and we're trying to figure out
what this team is, like how good or bad they are. We're adjusting our expectations. But we're also doing that for individuals. Like, should we expect Matthews to score 60 again? Should we expect him to have a 40-ish season like he did last year? That shot right there, I'm sorry. If he has a healthy season, 60. At least. Because that's the shot. That's the Matthews shot. That's the shot that he scores so many goals with. That's the shot that he scores 60 with. Yes, he's got all sorts of tools in his tool belt and his tool bag and all the things he has tools in. And while it's good to be versatile, and Matthews was versatile in the way that he scored goals in this game, you gotta have a signature. That's his signature. That goal. That's the kind of goal that he's gonna score at least 15, 20, 25 times this season if he keeps this up. If you go to a bar, that's chicken wings. Yes, there are other items on the menu. Yes, you might order them, but that is why you came! Chicken wings in my body! Wings in your body, puck in the net, tied game. Then the Leafs get a power play and they score again, and who did it even go off of? It looked like it went off John Tavares. Originally it belonged to John Tavares. In the face! Look at Matthews' face! I don't know. I don't know if it was me. Like, you just gave your team a lead in an NHL game. This is your face, because you're not sure who scored. He does this. It's not even special to score for him. He's gotten to the point where he just expects it. Leafs take the lead permanently. It's 2-1. And a 1-goal lead is nice. 2-goal lead would be better. Willie, you have anything for that, Willie? Oh, he's got something for it. Look at it, look at it. Whoa. And then he makes a move. Whoa. And then look at it. Whoa. William Nylander. That is contract year William Nylander. If that's contract year William Nylander, why is Austin working so hard? He's got the extension. You understand? Philip Gustafson's first game this season was a 40-plus save shutout. And for no good reason, William Nylander decides to pants all the Minnesota defenders, reach through Philip Gustafson's chest plate, and tear out his heart. Which, I don't know if I should trust Wikipedia, but I've read that that's detrimental to your health. Leafs head into intermission up 3-1, and we're all happy. Beginning of the second period, Max Domi, he's had a bit of a tough time finding a spot in the lineup. He kind of went up and kind of went down. This isn't the last we're going to talk about him in this game, but this is good. He draws a trip that sends the Leafs on the power play. First unit's been getting all the glory. How about the second unit? Bertuzzi just chilling at the goal mouth. Whack! His hair long and wild. His teeth mostly present. The tongues of his skates feral. And his effort dogged. We are going to really like this player, methinks. The Leafs take the 4-1 lead off Tyler Bertuzzi's first as a Leaf. For a split second there, I was about to say Max Domi got an assist on this. He didn't. He got an assist on the Nylander goal, which is hilarious because, like, Nylander should get an assist on the Nylander goal. Now, less than a minute later, it gets a little hairy. Matt Boldy, he's got the puck. He's coming in. Great player. Really underrated player. Ken Reed once came on the Steve Dangle podcast, and he talked about when we talk about goals, when we break down goals, we only talk about what went wrong. Why don't we praise how good the shot was or how good the goal was? And I thought, yes, Kenneth, that is absolutely right. I think that's a wonderful observation. And then I see a goal like that, and I'm like, I don't know. But okay, it's okay. The Leafs still have a 2-goal lead. About 5 or 6 minutes later, the front of the net is a nightmare. The Leafs' front of the net is just a fire drill. Faber getting a piece of it, and then the Italian connection from Minnesota, Foligno and Rossi. And who had an assist on the previous goal? Zuccarello. I know he's Norwegian, shut up. Marco Rossi bangs in the goal off the rebound, and it's a beautiful goal, and they're gonna get that puck out of the net and tape it up because it's his first career NHL goal. Now, I am of two minds. One, they're within one. I hate that. But number two, this is a really good story. Marco Rossi was, at very least, one of the best prospects in hockey. This was the 9th overall pick in the 2020 draft. What happened in 2020, boys and girls? Yeah, COVID. It keeps coming up. It's funny. I've seen some people go, why do you still bring that up? Because it was somewhat significant! Dude, it screwed up a lot of things for a lot of people and a lot of development of prospects, and that's if they didn't get sick. Marco Rossi had potentially career-threatening complications to his health, but he got into 2 games in the 2021-22 season. He got into 19 games last season, just 1 assist, no goals. In his second game this season, goal. Finally. Minnesota extended a few veterans recently, but they're banking big on their young guys. If Marco Rossi pans out, oh, this team in the future. And while that's great and all and gives you the warm and fuzzies, hey Leafs, how about you don't blow it? They managed not to blow it for the rest of the second period, and we head into second intermission, and they have the lead, but we're not feeling the greatest. During that intermission, Sheldon Keefe and the coaching staff make a change. Listen, Max Domi with John Tavares and William Nylander, offensively, I think makes a ton of sense. Nylander can do basically everything. He's a great puck carrier. He's turned into a heck of a goal scorer. He can make plays too, but I think primarily he's a goal scorer. John Tavares, heck of a net front presence, and he's going to be taking the faceoffs, even though all those guys can play center. He is a full-time center for now. And Max Domi, yeah, he's got some grit in there. He'll win some battles, but he's an exquisite playmaker. I love the offensive combination of those guys. Defensively, in their own end, horrible. Like, it's horrible. Every time the puck ends up down there, it's a fire drill, and you think it's bad at home with a tactical advantage for the coaching staff. Wait till the Leafs play their first road game, oof maroon. So they switch it up, and a few people sent me this tweet before it even happened. It made sense to switch Max Domi with Calle Järnkrok. They do, and I thought it changed the dynamic interestingly for both lines. Järnkrok, you have a defensive presence who we know can play top 6 minutes, and we know can score in the top 6. Max Domi, if not more responsible than Calle Järnkrok, he's definitely going to stick up for the rookies that are out there, and Minten and Nyes, and maybe make Minten and Nyes pay a little bit more attention to what's going on around them, and he can feed them the puck too. But funny enough, the line that ends up scoring is this Franken line that I've never seen used once. Tyler Bertuzzi is out there with the rookie Fraser Minten and Calle Järnkrok. Riley, who had an underrated, incredible game, +4, led the team, has his second assist of the game, just a nice, beautiful pass over to Calle Järnkrok, who taps it in as he can. Leafs restore the 2-goal lead. Like 30 seconds later, Matthews on the wraparound, and he was less casual about this celebration. Look at this, yeah! This dude is single-handedly stimulating the economy with all the hats raining down, and the Leafs lead 6-3. Less than 2 minutes later, it's William Nylander just screwing up my fantasy team. Just who cares? Actually, I have William Nylander too, so I got him this time. I got him. I never get Leafs. They always get taken before I can get them, and I got him. 7-3, the Leafs are just smacking them at this point. Duane did get one. Didn't love that either, Sammy. I found it in myself to not care though. They're still up 3. Not good, but I don't care. And the Leafs win 7-3, and that is what everyone is going to focus on. But I go back to the beginning of the game. This is going to have lasting effects for Minnesota, this game. This was not a good game to have on the road in game 2 of your season. Gaudreau rocked by Reeves. Foligno gets into a fight with him. Later in the game, Morgan Riley staples Matt Boldy to the boards. Staples him. He's such an important part of that team, but he left the game. Like in the final minutes of the game, Timothy Liljegren just cranking a slap shot with the Leafs up 4. They block it. I didn't see who the player was, but that did not look like it tickled. And sometimes the hockey gods just have it out for you. An errant puck along the boards smacks Patrick Maroon right in the exposed ear. Underratedly awful. I didn't even like saying it out loud. Oh, not to mention Philip Gustafsson, your starting goaltender, got rocked. That is a tough second game of the season for the Minnesota Wild. Questions? Not question, just wanted to point this goofiness out. Per NHLPR, Auston Matthews is one of only 5 players in NHL history to record a hat trick in each of their first 2 games to start the season, joining Alexander Ovechkin from 2017-18, Cy Denny from 1917-18. That was 100 years before Ovechkin. Joe Malone, also 100 years before Ovechkin. And Reg Noble, also 100 years before Ovechkin. Isn't this like every Matthews goal stat? Oh yeah, Matthews is in a 4-way tie with Alexander Ovechkin and 3 Red Dead Redemption ass names that you've never... Yeah, it's Auston Matthews tied with Hosea Matthews, Alex Ovechkin, and Micah Bell. This question comes from a tweet that I had about Domi, JT, and Willie not looking great on defense. Hope is blooming, but oof, this line's defense. What's your solution? keep them together and make them drill defensive plays, or split them up? How does that work? That's an interesting question. One, I'm not totally sold that Fraser Minton is going to be with this team the whole year. I still want to see him in more situations, and especially with the Chicago Blackhawks coming up, who are not only expected to be bad this season, but injured. They're injured. Why not let that line fly? Let that line fly, and you can try a few different combinations if you like. You can try Domi with the two kids in Nyes and Minton. You could try Calle Yarncroke down there like you usually do. Another interesting option could be, I'm not exactly sure, utilize Noah Gregor on one of those lines. But, I mean, really, I think the better thing to do for next game against Chicago is have Max Domi go off. Have him go off against his former team. Feed him the puck. He can shoot. He can score. He can make plays. He can bang in rebounds. He's going to be fired out of a cannon for that game. Get him on the board. Get him feeling good about himself. Best way to do that is have him play with JT and Willie. So I would say, don't panic. Something to keep your eye on, though. From Nick. Steve, I don't have a question. I just wanted to say you are a very beautiful man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Should they give Woll a chance next game? Yeah, I do think they should give Joseph Woll next game. I understood letting Sammy play this one. He didn't have a good game one. Let's see if he had a good game two. He didn't really have a good game two. Joseph Woll is going to be playing a bunch of games for the Leafs this season. I think he should start against Chicago. Here's Dean Evason's expression. God bless Minnesota Wild head coach Dean Evason's expression. What is this expression? I can't get enough of this guy's face. And last but not least, woohoo! How many goals does Matthews score this season? This is an interesting one. And this, to me, hinges on Matthews playing, I'm going to say, at least 79 games. So he can miss 3, okay? That is a mostly healthy season. I truly don't think 70 is totally out of the question, the way he's playing. He's already got 6. But let's not go completely nuts. 60 is rare. It's really rare. I know more than one guy did it last year, but also goal scoring is going up. He's going to be hell-bent on 66 because of McDavid, but I'll say 62. 62. You know, conservative. So, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. I like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Hey, link to my Easter Seals fundraiser below. It's that time of year where I'm going to start asking for money for that. And also on the Warehouse Games YouTube channel under John Boy Media, McFlurry Power, my team, is going to be taking on We Got Ice. You can watch the full game on the Warehouse Games YouTube channel. It's going to be a blast.